we just had the John Cena pipe bomb. Oh my God. What's up, Jared? Here we have the set review of Friday Night SmackDown. First one in a long time. Alright, so they kicked out the show with LA Knight coming out, and LA Knight started going on about how he's done taking on these Seth Rollins goons, how Seth Rollins always needs these bodyguards and everything to help him be successful. And he's like, alright, I'm done with this. I'm calling out Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins come out here and face me like a man, one-on-one. Paul Heyman comes out. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. Pretty much introduced himself how he's the wise man of Seth Rollins. The crowd keeps on booing, so he keeps on trying to repeat himself. LA Knight stops and he gets in the ring with LA Knight. LA Knight just going to town, cutting the promo on between the two of them. Paul Heyman and LA Knight going back and forth. LA Knight says, he goes, I wanted Seth Rollins, not the wise man, Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman said, he goes, I'm telling you right now, you should leave and get out of town. He goes, otherwise something really bad's going to happen to you. And LA Knight just keeps on going and on about how he can take on anything that they send at him, and he wants Seth Rollins, not Paul Heyman. And then Paul Heyman's like, well, you should have listened to me. He goes, what I said wasn't a prediction, it was a spoiler. Here comes out Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and LA Knight ends up fighting them off, until they started jumping him, but he ended up fighting them off with a steel chair. Later backstage, Braun Breaker's pissed off about it, going after the reporters and everything, but they announced it's going to be Bronson Reed going one-on-one with LA Knight later in the show. And obviously everybody knows how that's going to go. Braun Breaker's going to get involved in everything, but that's going to be next. Later in the show will be Bronson Reed and LA Knight. Then we had the Queen of the Ring semifinals match. It was Asuka versus Alexa Bliss. Whoever wins goes in to the finals. We've not seen who else was going to be in the finals, but it was Alexa Bliss versus Asuka, and Asuka defeated Alexa Bliss. It was a pretty good match, going back and forth and everything. Honestly, I thought for a second Alexa Bliss was going to win, but Asuka ended up pulling out the victory, and she's going to the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Then Aleister Black was supposed to go against one-on-one with one of the members of Pretty Deadly, and before Aleister Black even could get to the ring, the member of Pretty Deadly was attacked by R-Truth. R-Truth attacks him and puts him in the SDF, choking him out. Security takes him off. He's like, I want John Cena out of here right now. You and me, one-on-one, John Cena. They take him backstage. He's like, nope, that's the main event, R-Truth. You have to wait. Ron Killings was unleashing. He's pissed. He wants John Cena, but he has to wait until the main event. Then Cody Rhodes' music hits. Cody Rhodes comes down the ring. Before he even could say anything, Jey Uso's music hits. Jey Uso comes down the ring, and Jey Uso says, he goes, you and me, we've been together forever since you've came back. He goes, it's been you and me. We've won the tag titles together. We've taken down my family together. You finished your story and won at WrestleMania 40 and won the WWE Championship. He took out Roman Reigns. He goes, I finished my story and I won the world title at WrestleMania 41. He goes, I'm not afraid to beat you to get back my World Heavyweight Championship. He goes, on Monday Night Raw, he goes, it's going to be you and me one-on-one. We're going to tear the house down, because by the end of the night, it's me one word, 4 letters, yeet. Then Sami Zayn's music hits. Sami Zayn comes down and he just kind of watches them. He says, like, I have a free show to watch you guys, blah, blah, blah. He goes, I have the match to see who I'll be facing you guys. Randy Orton's music hits. Randy Orton comes down. He goes, I'm not afraid to take out any of you. He goes, Cody, I told you I'm not afraid to go through you. He goes, Jey Uso. He goes, it is going to be one word, but it's going to be 3 letters, RKO. Not you. When he goes going to SummerSlam, and he goes, Sami Zayn, and he goes, I'll take you out tonight anytime. And he goes, Sami Zayn, you will win a world title one day, but he goes, it's not going to be SummerSlam this year. Then it set up the match between Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn in the semifinals, King of the Ring tournament match. And Randy Orton picked up the victory against Sami Zayn. It was a pretty good match, went back and forth and everything. Sami Zayn almost had the win. He went for the Lahuva kick. Randy Orton moved out of the way. RKO, 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton wins. So whoever wins on Monday, either Jey Uso or Cody Rhodes, will be taking on Randy Orton in the finals at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. Everyone knows it's going to be Cody Rhodes. We're finally going to get Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the first time since Cody Rhodes has come back to WWE since He came back from since AEW and everything, so I cannot wait for this match. There's no way Jey Uso wins. It's going to be Cody versus Orton, and whoever wins is going to face John Cena at SummerSlam. I cannot wait for this match. It's at Night of Champions. At Night of Champions, they're definitely going to put on a banger, Cody and Randy Orton. There's no way Jey Uso wins this, so I'm already kind of saying Cody's going to win. But Randy Orton Sami Zayn was a pretty good match. Shocker, Chelsea Green was running her mouth backstage, so then ended up setting a match between Charlotte Flair and Chelsea Green. Charlotte Flair defeated Chelsea Green, and then Piper Niven attacked Charlotte Flair, being her bodyguard of Chelsea Green. And then Alexa Bliss comes out for the save and saves Charlotte Flair from Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Very odd that they're setting this up. I don't know where this is supposed to go, but Charlotte Flair defeated Chelsea Green, and Alexa Bliss saved Charlotte Flair from Piper Niven. But honestly, I thought that was kind of random, but there you go. Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax went one-on-one in a promo battle pretty much about how Nia Jax wants her world title back and everything. And they ended up announcing that it's going to be next week a last women's standing match between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton for the Women's World Championship. I don't know why this is not on the Night of Champions card. I'm not quite sure why this would be on SmackDown. Why not just have it on Night of Champions? But Nia Jax ended up laying out Tiffany Stratton, holding her title up high. And then Naomi came out to cash in. She's yelling at the ref, I'm cashing in, cashing in. Nia Jax takes her out, not letting her cash in. Nia Jax wants to be the one that dethrones Tiffany Stratton, since Tiffany Stratton did cash in her Money in the Bank on Nia Jax. So Nia Jax wants the revenge, obviously, for her. She wants her championship back. So I think at Night of Champions, Naomi's going to cash in the Money in the Bank, since now 2 weeks in a row, Nia Jax has cost her her cash in. I think it either Nia Jax wins, not Night of Champions, the Friday Night SmackDown before Night of Champions. Either Nia Jax wins the match, and then Naomi cashes in, or since it's the last women's standing match, both women are down, out cold. Naomi cashes in, and she pins Tiffany Stratton, and then she's our next women's world champion. I think it's just going to happen. And then at SummerSlam, we get Naomi versus Jade Cargill for the women's world championship, and then Jade Cargill beats Naomi. I think this is the most logical, making sense story. Like, I feel like that connects the dots for everything and seals the deal, and actually is pretty good and entertaining. So I think Naomi cashes in next week, wins the women's world title, SummerSlam, Jade Cargill versus Naomi for the women's world title, and Jade Cargill wins. I love you, Jacob Fatu. Solo Sikoa calls out Jacob Fatu to come down. He wants to make up for what he said about Jacob Fatu and how Jacob Fatu doesn't like him anymore. So Jacob Fatu comes down. Solo says how he loves him because they're family. They need to figure this out. He was the only one that believed in Jacob Fatu. He's the reason why he's here. He wanted to help him. And Jacob Fatu's like, no, you wanted me here just for fame and gold. He goes, I don't care about you. He goes, clearly the problem between us is this United States Championship. He goes, if that's the case, he puts it down. He goes, you're going to fight me for the United States Championship. So they announced at Night of Champions, Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Solo didn't like that for some reason, getting a world title, a United States title shot. Apparently he wanted them to be together. So he went to attack Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu stops him. He headbutts him. Then JC comes out and takes out Jacob Fatu. They're laying him out. And then Jimmy Uso's music hits. Jimmy Uso gets in the ring, super kicks, and lays out JC. But then Solo Sikoa gets the upper hand. Jimmy Uso laying him out. JC and Solo Sikoa beating up Jimmy Uso when Jacob Fatu gets up and takes out both of them with Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso sitting in the corner watching Jacob Fatu lay them all out, and Jacob Fatu looks at him and kind of just like a thank you. And then Jacob Fatu went to go hit his crazy moonsault thing on Solo Sikoa, but Solo Sikoa ran and got away. And then then Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso stood tall at the end. So it looks like this might end up setting up down the road a tag match between Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa and JC. I'm assuming that's the most logical thing. There's no way Solo Sikoa defeats Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Jacob Fatu is definitely going to retain that. Then we had LA Knight going one-on-one with Bronson Reed. Before the match even started, Bronson Reed was the first one to come out. Braun Breaker was standing ringside, and LA Knight attacked Braun Breaker before the match started, laying out Braun Breaker, sliding in the ring, taking on Bronson Reed. The bell rings. They go back and forth. LA Knight getting a lot of offense in, taking on Bronson Reed and everything, taking him out. And then Paul Heyman's also ringside with Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker gets back up, and he takes out LA Knight when he's ringside. Match ends in a disqualification, and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker absolutely murder LA Knight. They spear Braun Breaker speared him multiple times, and then Bronson Reed hit multiple tsunamis on him. I'm assuming this is just setting up a match between LA Knight and Seth Rollins down the road, maybe for the world title. I'm assuming Seth Rollins is going to cash in his Money in the Bank on the World Heavyweight Championship, not the WWE Championship. But clearly, they're trying to elevate LA Knight, and they're trying to backfire with, not backfire, make up for what they've realized that they've messed up several years on LA Knight not winning the Money in the Bank. They're trying to make up for it, I think. But hopefully, LA Knight ends up fighting Seth Rollins for the world title, maybe beats him for it. But I'm assuming Seth Rollins cashes in for the World Heavyweight Championship, not the WWE Championship. And I feel like this is where this is going to set up this LA Knight thing, because this LA Knight thing's got to lead to a match down the road with LA Knight and Seth Rollins. It's got to be. That's the only reason why I feel like they would do this. It wouldn't be like Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed. They're supposed to be like the henchmen for Seth Rollins, so it's got to be LA Knight and Seth Rollins down the road. Maybe at SummerSlam or something. But looks like LA Knight might be taking a week or two off or something, because he just got absolutely murdered by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Then we had our main event that everybody's been waiting for: John Cena versus Ron Killings, the rematch in Saturday night's main event. Ron Killings didn't waste any time. He instantly tackled John Cena down the ground, beating the holy hell out of him, punch after punch after punch, takes him out of the ring, getting some crazy offense in. But John Cena ended up scattering, grabbing the title, running up the ramp. He's like, I'm not dealing with this. He goes, I'm done with this. Ron Killings followed him. John Cena turned around, nailed him with the WWE Championship, ending in a disqualification. But Ron Killings technically won then. So Ron Killings defeated John Cena with the disqualification. So obviously, I feel like this is not the end of the road for this. If this is how they end the story with Ron Killings for how over he is with the John Cena thing, I think it's a big mistake and dumb. But you never know. With WWE, they might make a mistake and just say like, oh, he got his win against John Cena. But no, I feel like Ron Killings needs to pin John Cena 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. They've now spent so much time into this. They gotta end it with this. But Ron Killings wins. He ends up leaving. Oh, John Cena ends up beating him up. CM Punk's music hits. CM Punk comes out. John Cena and CM Punk start battling around. Ron Killings just disappeared at some point. And John Cena ends up attitude adjusting CM Punk through a table in the middle of the ring. And CM Punk was out cold in the middle of the ring, just laying there on the table, dead with a broken table. And John Cena grabbed the mic and sat up on top of the turnbuckle and cut his own pipe bomb on CM Punk. Absolutely tearing into CM Punk, saying how he changes his morals and opinions more as much as John Cena changes his t-shirts up pretty much every week, which is pretty true. I'm like, if you look at the history of CM Punk, I'm like, John Cena was spitting facts. He was talking about how he rips on TKO. He's not. He goes, you're not against TKO. You are Mr. TKO. He goes, they literally took your balls from you and everything. And John Cena's like, he goes, I like you. He goes, I'm one of your only friends. He goes, the only thing, he's like, I don't disagree. He goes, CM Punk, I'm one of your only friends. The things I do like about you, because there's one thing I don't like about you at all, is the fact that you say you're the best in the world. You're no longer the best in the world, because I'm the greatest of all time. You were the best in the world for 7 minutes 14 years ago, because that was 2011 when he beat John Cena at Money in the Bank. He goes, you are no longer best in the world, CM Punk. He goes, you're a hypocrite. You lie to these fans. Because I'm actually jealous of you, CM Punk, because you're such a liar. He goes, you're able to manipulate these fans and make them chant your name, even sing your music. And he goes, but you better get ready for my Night of Champions, because you got a big match coming up, because you got to take me on for the WWE Championship. And he goes, we all know you're going to come up short. So John Cena stands tall over CM Punk with the WWE Championship. He goes, and then that's pretty much it. He cuts his promo. And then he had something else to say at the end. And then John Cena walked out while CM... Oh, also forgot. During the promo, so he's going on and on. He goes, CM Punk, you're a hypocrite and everything. He goes, all you do is step on people's necks that are in your way to make you more money, more popular. He goes, how are you doing, Claudio Castagnoli, Nick Nemeth, Matt Cardona? How you guys doing? I was losing my... I'm like, no way. He's just name-dropping. Claudio is in AEW. Nick Nemeth is in TNA. And obviously Matt Cardona is on his own doing great stuff in Major Wrestling Figure Podcast and on the indies. So name-dropping people in other companies and stuff. But I don't understand why he picked those ones, because like I know there's plenty of like stories of CM Punk beefing with people. I've never heard of anything of him beefing with Cesaro or Claudio Castagnoli or Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth. I have heard a couple things of Zack Ryder / Matt Cardona, but that was definitely interesting. But John Cena just tore into CM Punk, which honestly, in my opinion, almost 95% of the stuff he said about CM Punk is pretty true. Because if you look at the facts, I mean, like the stuff CM Punk has said about WWE, and then magically comes back and now doing all this stuff, like him saying, I'll never go to Saudi Arabia. He's going to Saudi Arabia. He goes, you can, and when he was in AEW, he said, go main event, buy one, get one, 3 free main event show, ripping on WrestleMania being 2 nights and being free. Well, he main evented night 1 of a free WrestleMania. Like, CM Punk is pretty much of a hypocrite, but John Cena tore into him. Awesome pipe bomb. Overall, this SmackDown was pretty good. I haven't done a setup on SmackDown in a long time because I usually am not home on Fridays to do like the setup on the studio here. And I'm usually busy. But I wanted to do a setup of this because I was here, and this was a hell of a show to do a setup of. The John Cena pipe bomb, Randy Orton going to the finals for the King of the Ring tournament. I love you, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa. Now we're having a United States title match. Jacob Fatu does not love Solo Sikoa. Bronson Reed Brownbreaker laying out LA Knight, setting up the storyline and everything. Ron Killings technically beating John Cena by disqualification, which they got to do more with this storyline. I feel like it's not enough. But overall, this was a really good Friday Night SmackDown. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was really entertaining. This is Jared W. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. John Cena pipe bomb.